Hey stars, it's me, Shar the Star, and I'm back. Hope you guys are having a great week. I know we're at that hump day in the middle of the week, and I'm not gonna keep you guys long. And right now, I'm just drinking some lemon water. That's all. Um, if you're in the New York, New Jersey area, you know that it's fall here, and the weather is really up. I've heard people, my some groups that I'm in, they were talking about the weather. They were calling it bipolar. And I was like, actually, I'm a spring baby. I'm born in April. So I love the spring and the fall. I can do without the dead of winter and the hot of the summer. That spring and fall is my thing. So nevertheless, people were complaining, and I was like, you know what, I actually like it. We Out of 5 days, 2 of our days were in the 80s. Then today was supposed to be like 68, tomorrow supposed to be like 70. I like it, and I'm ready to put on some clothes. You know what I mean? Ready to put on some clothes. I want to start this video off with continuing to thank you guys for supporting this channel, because some of y'all be on my ass. Okay, like, I first off want to send my condolences to one of my viewers, and she's like an aunt to me, Aunt Carol. I know that you lost your sister, and I will be reaching out to you momentarily. And I had got a couple of messages yesterday. Miss Teresa, she's like an auntie of mine, also here in New Jersey, and they be on my ass. Like, look, texting me, call. We haven't had a video in 2 days. What's going on? We haven't had a video, and now I think I haven't had a video in 5 days. So what? So I was like, you know what? Whatever it is, get on here and do a little something, something, because I got a lot going on this particular weekend. And we'll talk about it a little later if we do, if we don't. But I have some good things coming this weekend, and I'll talk about it later. Um, okay, so I know that most of us understand and know that Puffy is actually going to be sentenced at the end of this week, right? And I'm going to bring up something. And let's talk about this a little bit, okay? It says former stylist for Sean Diddy Combs accuses mogul of sexual abuse and violence in a new lawsuit. This is brand new. This was just filed, right? So I'm going to come up out of this, and then let's talk about this a little bit. Let's see where I want to start with this. Um, Okay, it says the former stylist of Sean P. Diddy Combs, who testified against a disgraced music mogul in his federal criminal trial earlier this year, filed a lawsuit Wednesday accusing Combs of sexual abuse and violence while he was in Combs' employment. The 37-page lawsuit filed in LA Superior Court on the behalf of Deontay Nash. You heard me, Deontay Nash, okay, against Combs and Combs' label Bad Boys Entertainment, also accuses Combs of sexual battery, human trafficking, and false imprisonment. According to the lawsuit, Nash said he was hired to be Combs' stylist around 2008 at the age of 21 and worked for him until 2018. Nash said that during that time period, he also worked as a stylist and creative director for Combs' then girlfriend, R&B singer Cassandra Ventura, Cassie. Okay, who also accused Combs of sexual abuse in a 2023 lawsuit that we know, right? So, Deontay, this young man, is stating that he said that he personally experienced sexual, physical, mental, and emotional abuse at the hands of defendants during his 10-year employment, during forced tests of loyalty and manipulation, sexual harassment and sexual assaults, physical violence and being manhandled, labor trafficking and threats of harm and threats of death, the lawsuit claims. Um, the lawsuit alleges that Nash was sexually assaulted by Combs on multiple occasions. So I'm just letting you know that this is going on and on and on, and this is a new one. And we've heard a lot about the women, and there being a few men, peekaboo, jumping in and jumping out, but we haven't really. So now maybe we will. We'll get to hear the other side. Okay. Well, like I said, Puffy is going to be sentenced this week and within the next day or next 2 days. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Seriously speaking, I'm not going to tell you. This is all me, right? Let's talk a little bit. I don't personally think. Put my mic in a little bit. I don't personally think because we're hearing they were talking about time served, then they were talking about um, giving him 10 to 11 years is what we've been hearing in the last day or so. Um, Honestly, personally, I'm not really taking it that serious because I believe, this is just me, allegedly, this is what I think. It doesn't matter if they give him 1 year or 11 years. I think that President is going to pardon him. I do. I think President Trump is going to pardon him. Um, I've never seen an administration or a presidency give out pardons like Skittles at a kid's party. I mean, like, hello, if you usually you hear at the end of the presidency and they give out this man is giving pardons because it's Tuesday. Like you get one and you get one and it's crazy. So I think it's just me, and it can come to pass or not. But I just feel like President Trump will do anything to piss some of us off, and I'm sure that will piss a lot of people off. For this man to have gone through all of this and actually someone puts his feet to the fire and he actually gets sentenced to something where he has to really pay for what he's done. And this man just pardons him and he just comes home and it's done with. I wouldn't be surprised. And this is just me. This is allegedly, this is my thoughts, but I just think that y'all throwing around numbers and stuff. I don't think any of it matter because the president has the ability to pardon him if he wants to. And we heard months ago that Puffy's legal team was reaching out to the president about a pardon, allegedly. So I mean, what do you think? Okay, so we're gonna keep it here in New York, right? And let's talk about Mayor Eric Adams. Okay, so I mean, I'm sure everybody knows at this point that Eric Adams dropped out of New York mayoral race. The mayor has been running for re-election as a third-party candidate, but was running fourth in a number of recent public polls. And so he gave his speech on the steps of Gracie Mansion with a picture of his mother behind him, and this, that, and the other. Let me get rid of this. Um, well, this is what I think. I think that first of all, Mayor Adams at this point knows that he wasn't going to win, and I think the type of person, this is me allegedly saying the type of person that he is, he would rather drop out and then say later, I could have won, but such and such was happening. I didn't have enough money to really campaign properly and different this, that, and the third, instead of actually losing. You know what I mean? You have those people that would rather drop out than to actually it be said you lost. However stupid it is. But we also know that quite a few members of his administration have been arrested and now are in jail for different reasons and different things, allegedly. And somehow he was supposed to allegedly be involved in some way, form, or fashion, and investigations were put out on him. And allegedly, we know that President Trump got that kibosh. Leave him alone. Stop it. And all of a sudden, he's a free man to go up for reelection. And we know that Mr. Trump, I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks ago, offered Eric Adams a job. I don't know if it's definitely in his administration, which has a little over 3 years left. So, I mean, offered him a job in the administration. I don't know if that's in Washington or what the position would be. And because he had got him that investigation ended for Mr. Adams, talking about the president allegedly had that kiboshed for Eric Adams, I figured yeah, yeah, he's gonna do some things. And so with that happening, and I felt like they said he was running fourth in polls. I mean, and stop it. It's over. It's stop it. And I don't think that people really dug and really went for his mayoral his time that he's been mayor. I mean, I don't know. I don't live in New York. I have a lot of loved ones in my family. I'm originally from New York, so I'm over and it's right across the water. But it don't matter to me, really. Okay, so Did you guys hear about the six correction officers, women correction officers? I want to get this right. I wanted to um let's see. Okay. So this is, I believe, allegedly at the Manhattan House of Detention, but it also was going on. They said at the Bronx House of Detention, and if not wrong, Rikers Island. And how many of us would be surprised to hear anything about Rikers Island? Not so much. Okay, so it says six female correctional officers indicted over NYC jail visit strip searches. Um, so what they're saying is, excuse me, guys. Okay, so what they're saying is, um, six so far, six female correction officers have been indicted. They're facing charges over alleged illegal strip searches during NYC jail visits. Um, all six officers were women. They pleaded not guilty to charges including conspiracy, official misconduct, and unlawful imprisonment. Right. And the union for the women, for the corrections, they're stating, um, pointed out a number of contraband arrests at the Manhattan facility. Okay, so you're saying that y'all they made some big arrests at the Manhattan facility for people trying to visit, for women visiting, right? But that's not a reason to do something that you're not supposed to do, because from what's being said is that they said that six female correctional officers have been indicted amid allegations that women endured invasive body cavity and strip searches when they tried to visit loved ones in prisons. Right? They said a half a dozen suspects, including, they gave the names and the people. I'm not going to go through all of that, but people are coming forward, and now I think it's 12 people or 15 people allegedly have come forward and stated that this has happened to them. And what they would do was they would have these women in a room, allegedly, and they would have a drug dogs walking around the room. And what they would say is that the drug dogs got a narcotic alert. So somebody in this line needs to go. So they somehow would pick whomever they figured it was, and they would do an invasive body cavity search, then falsify records to cover it up. So meaning that, if you had to go that, if you had to do extra, would you take you to the side and pull down your pants and your underwear, and one of the women said the woman bent down and put her hand inside of her, front and back. Are you kidding me? Like, come, I mean, sure, we know, really. Um, they said that they would have their breasts fondled. That way, it was more than just checking your breast is there. Unless your breast got a pocket that they can zip down and put something in it, it is what it is, right? So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I have to tell you guys, I'm personally not that surprised. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story, and it's always good for, I just pray that people that have younger kids that go to school and even get on the school buses and stuff, I just hope that they train their kids to the point of not being so caught up into doing things that little kids do, but to listen. Because this is a very smart little girl. And this is what I'm going to tell you. Let me pull up the story and then we will talk about it. This took place in Idaho, Illinois, right? I believe it was. Wait, so we'll see in a minute. Okay, so do, 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 do. This is what states. I'm going to show you the guy that they're talking about, and then we're going to get into the story. Call 911. Students note to bus driver, save mom, who had been kidnapped and assaulted throughout the night, authorities state. This is the young man that they're stating kidnapped and assaulted the mother. So let's get out of this. Bow. And let's go on. Let's see. It says a 29-year-old man in Iowa has been arrested for allegedly holding a woman against her will and beating her throughout the night. After the woman's daughter passed a note to her school bus driver the following morning that read, call 911. Glenroy Stanford Miller was taken into custody last week and charged with one count of second degree kidnapping, one count of willful causing serious injury, and two counts of domestic abuse assault. Now, Clint, I've read this story and from two different actually points of views, right? And they never stated what the relationship was with Glenroy Stephen Miller, Mr. Miller, and the child's mother. They never stated. But after reading the charges, and the last one was two counts of domestic abuse assault, that was a domestic, so they were apparently in a relationship or together, allegedly, right? Okay, so what happened is the sheriff department received a phone call from the school around 7:24 a.m. on last Wednesday. Received a call and state from the school district reporting that one of the students had boarded a bus that morning and handed the bus driver, give me one second, and handed the bus driver a note that said, call 911. Deputies immediately responded to the student's home in rural Westgate, which is about 140 miles northeast of Des Moines, Iowa. Okay. So upon arrival at the address, first responders said they made contact with the parent of the student who provided the handwritten note. Upon investigation, it was learned that the mother and the child had been held against her will and unable to make a phone call. So she gave the note to her child to relay the message to call for help. So that's when I say, I hope your kids they listen and know the seriousness of some things. We have to teach them little things and code words and different things. Those things need to come back because with the budget being cut for everything, people are getting more desperate. Okay, so they said authorities said that they placed Miller under arrest, who is a citizen of the Bahamas. They initially charged him with domestic assault and obstructing an emergency communication for allegedly taking the victim's phone and keeping her from being able to call for help. However, the authorities said that they quickly learned that the situation inside the home was even worse than it appeared at first glance. Upon further investigation, it was learned that Miller had seriously assaulted the woman and he beat her so bad, allegedly, that he attempted to take her to the hospital. That's how bad he beat her. But as he got her in the car to take her to the hospital, allegedly, he realized that if he took her to the hospital, that he would be arrested for whatever her injuries were, or that she could tell someone and talk to someone, right? So he took her back in the house, and what did Mr. Miller do? He continued to beat Mama some more throughout the night. And like I said, in the morning time when she was getting her daughter ready for school, she gave her a note that said, call 911. And that's what the little girl did. And they said that he kept her, the mother at night, he kept a knife to her throat the entire night from beating her. When he wasn't beating her, he made her lay allegedly in a certain way where the knife stayed at her throat. Okay, so earlier in the summer, because summer is over now. So a few months ago, I was telling you guys about, we were talking about cruise ships and it was vacation time and, to make right decisions and that I wasn't ready to fly and all that stuff, right? So we started talking about the cruise ships because that became very popular again within the past 2 years since we've gotten out of the pandemic. It's like cruises have really picked up, right? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this picture because I remember doing a story earlier in the summer, maybe about 2 months ago, and where they had the water slide on the ship and that part of it had broke. And I showed you the pictures of how the water was pouring out, and a man that was on it when it broke. He didn't go out of the holes of the glass that broke. He wound up going. The water was taking him through it. So he got cut. He really received some severe cuts allegedly from the glass, from the shards of glass, from being passed across broken glass. Can you imagine that? Okay, so well now something similar and something that definitely has to do with these water parks and they even have like racetracks on these ships now. Well, if you can see up here a little bit where my cursor is moving around a little frantically, right here where this clear part is, right? This is where that happens. Well, what they say, let me show you this, right? And now let me tell you what they're saying about that. They're saying that a viral video captured a cruise passenger getting stuck in a water slide on the Norwegian cruise line. That with the part of the water slide is 150 feet above ocean. The video that was posted on TikTok shows the passenger struggling to escape the clear section of the slide. And that's what I'm going to show you with the picture, the clear section of that slide. So people can actually see him there. And he's stuck for whatever reason, leading to panic among viewers. People that were there, just the ship broke out in panic. The incident occurred on the Norwegian Bliss. And while the passenger was safe, the video has sparked discussion about the thrill of water slides and their safety on cruise ships. Okay, so let's get back to this. Boom, boom. Now, right here is, like I said, this is where my cursor is. This is the clear part, right? This is the clear part. I don't even know if I can put my hand where you can see, but anyway, that's the clear part. And he was stuck. Now, not only is he 11 feet out from the ship, but then he's also 159 feet above ocean. So, let me get rid of this. Let me just try to show you a little bit. Um, okay, here we go. So, say this is the ship, right? No, this is the water slide. This watch, put right here where my watch is. This is the ship. This is the ship. The water slide extends past the ship. So it extends 11 feet past the ship, but 159 feet with nothing under you but the ocean water. So I know that had to be pretty terrible. Oh, I look like I was focusing. Okay. Joking. So yeah, so I would have been terrified. And they said that, this is happening more often. And these cruise ships are the size of cities, right? And the tea of it all is they're trying to get you to find these ships and pick these ships to be your one-stop destination, especially with the kids. So you have now amusement parks and water parks, and like I said, driving race car. Who would want to race a car? Because I've seen it on a commercial, and I've actually seen it on a video where they were advertising. Because, like I said, we've been talking about a cruise. That's another story. So I would not want to drive these little chunky little race cars, and something happens, and I go off the side of the ship 15 stories above. Like, nah, I'm good on that. Like, I think they're doing a little too much. I get it. But I mean, at some point, like these amusement parks, like back in the day, Action Park and what we have now, Great Adventure, some of these rides are not that safe. In Action Park, if you're up for you old guys that remember Action Park, baby, people were dying at Action Park, like dying. Their stuff was just too dangerous. Nevertheless, there's only certain things I'm willing to do. I don't know if I want to be 11 feet. That way, if something happens, at least I can fall on the boat. But to put me 11 feet out and 159 feet above, and if something happens, I'm straight in the ocean, I'm good. I'm good. So I just think that people need to take more care and think, like, do I really want to do this? Is this really worth? Because it's not if something can happen, it's when something is going to happen because it's happening. Okay? Well, this is going to be my last story, and I'm going to let you guys go. This is going to be a story about the airlines. And I want to tell you, like I said to you, I told you guys, I said, well, I wasn't necessarily ready, and I think I might be now, honestly. But again, we're thinking of a cruise from New York, so we wouldn't have to travel that far. Okay, so we're going to talk about this, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Um, Here we go. It says pilot and crew under investigation after Delta flight leaves 18 hospitalized. 18. So originally 24 was originally hurt on this flight. But 18 had to be hospitalized. That shows you how bad it really was, right? Okay, so I'm going to give me a second. Let me tell you what's going on. It says a Delta airline flight from Salt Lake City to Amsterdam turned into a terrifying experience for passengers when severe turbulence hit midair, sending drink carts, flight attendants, and passengers flying into the air and crashing to the floor. Now the flight crew is under investigation. And if you've ever been on a flight that had turbulence, it's not, it's not, that's not something that's good. But can you imagine? Okay, I look at those carts, right? The metal carts that they narrowly push up the aisle, right? Those things are heavy. Those things on wheels, and it's full of things, sodas and sandwiches, and it's full of stuff, right? Can you imagine for like 3.5 to 4 minutes? All you did, everything flew up to the roof and down to the floor. This went on for 3.5 minutes, people. It says Delta Flight DL56 was flying over Creston, Wyoming when it hit unexpected turbulence. With the seatbelt sign off at the time, the turbulence caught passengers and crew off guard. In total, 24 passengers required medical attention and 18 were hospitalized after the plane violently shook for nearly 3.5 minutes. Reports say people and objects were thrown into the ceiling before slamming back down to the ground. That's crazy. That's crazy. So could you imagine that heavy cart going up and everybody else going up and then down and maybe down on someone landing? I don't know, people. And this is not something, this is not, I don't understand what the investigation is really about, but the logistics I got from it, because I'm like, why would they be under investigation if you already said that it was unexpected turbulence, so the seatbelt sign wasn't on, so people were moving freely around the cabin. A preliminary report by the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, revealed that the turbulence lasted around 3.5 minutes and subjected passengers to violent forces. People were thrown upward with 1.75 G force, about three-quarters of their body weight, and pulling downward at zero point 0.5 G force. Such force is likely like a muscle. They're like if you're wrestling and it's like a wrestler picks you up and just slams you down. Like, and that went on for 3.5 minutes. And I know you like 3.5, that's a long time to be up, down, up, down. Can you imagine? So listen, guys, we have to know better to do better. I love you guys. I want you guys to be intentional about everything that you do. Again, I want to thank you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for the texts. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I need that, people. That's all I'm asking. I'm here for free. Come on, girls. Let's see what guys, people. Okay. Again, I love you guys. Check on your strong friends. Check on your strong family members. I think it's a beautiful week here in New York, New Jersey. No rain. Like I said, it's a little cooler with us being in the highs of 80 to 83. And now our high today was like 68 and tomorrow 70. I can do it. I'm happy with it. No rain. I'm happy with it. I love you guys. And until next time, and I plan to see you guys soon because, again, don't forget, Puffy's sentencing is this Friday. 2 days, 2 and 2. So I'm going to see you. We're going to talk about it. Love you guys. See you soon.